Hi, this is Kendra from Pencil and Pigment, and today I thought I would do a little drawing, have a little chat. I have this really funky kind of very budget brush pen. It's like a water brush, but I never use it, so I thought I would try and pipette some ink into it to see if I can use it. Hold on, let me get my pipette real quick. Okay, sorry about that. I thought I had all my supplies with me, but you never know. This is a pipette. We use these for science experiments, but these can be purchased in bulk on Amazon if that is something you're interested in. This is the Winsor Newton drawing ink. This is cobalt. Obviously, this is their teeny tiny one. I think they might have a larger size as well. I'm just in the mood for some blue. I'm in the mood for a brush pen, and I never use this. So in the efforts of cycling through everything I own, we're gonna try it. Ink and a water brush. I never really use water brushes. I use synthetic brushes for my watercolors, and I actually use watercolor brushes for my acrylic painting too. I hardly ever acrylic paint. And when I do, I make sure to wash the brushes like within seconds of being done. I don't want to have a different brush for every single thing. I'm just not interested, and I hardly ever do acrylic, so. And then I buy budget brushes. I like the Winsor Newton Cotman brushes. Those are fine. I don't know if this is gonna work. You can see it kind of coming down. You know what I should do? I should have a little towel handy. And you can see, oh, here it is. You can see how slapdash I am with my ink and my supplies. I don't know if this is going to come down or not. Oh, there it is. Okay. I started anew. Okay. Make sure I kind of have them on the brush and we can see how fine tip. Okay. All right. This should work in theory. If it doesn't work, I tried a thing and you watched and we learned together. Okay. So, oh, okay, it's working. It's just this brush is, the bristles are absolutely beat up. But sometimes it's fun to have things that you don't have to be so precious with and careful with. So I kind of keep some beat up stuff. And then if I feel like mashing it and creating a weird effect with mashed bristles, like that's an option too. We shall see, folks. We shall see if I know what I'm doing here. Anyway, October. October is coming really, really quickly, like really quick. That is the month of 800 drawing challenges. There's more than that. There's so many drawing challenges in October. A lot of them are spooky themed, but if that's like not a thing, oh, this looks great for eyelashes being so splayed. If spooky themes aren't your jam, keep looking online. On Instagram, there are so many drawing challenges right now, and yeah, I have some videos on like how to prep and get ready for drawing challenges, but I can go over some of that if you're not interested in that video, like some of my quick tips, I suppose. I've done a ton of drawing challenges. I did a year of drawing challenges back to back to back. I love drawing. I love it so much I keep doing it. I can't stop. I'm an addict. So drawing's my jam. And painting and creating. So the best tip would be to find the drawing challenge that speaks to you. Obviously there's some that are much more popular than others. I have a video about my thoughts and opinions about Inktober, like that's kind of messy. I'm not really interested in that. Plus, I always try and figure out ways to support female creators, just because it seems like a lot of male creators get a lot of attention with their drawing challenges and stuff. Again, that's just me. Everybody's entitled to their own thing. So tips and tricks. Absolutely find one that tickles your fancy, makes you laugh, makes you smile, weirds you out, makes you feel something. I wouldn't pick the most popular one because it's the most popular, especially if you're trying to get noticed. That hashtag tends to get buried in an onslaught, so sometimes picking the most prolific drawing challenge isn't the wisest decision when trying to get seen. I like Mab's Drawloween. I will throw up whatever she already has her prompt list thing out, and it's always pretty clever. I've done that a couple years in a row. I'm trying to draw like a face where, you know, if they're standing next to like blinds or some sort of like window covering that has slats and weird highlights. I'm doing that, in case you're wondering what in the world is wrong with your face. So many things. So yeah, absolutely pick one that interests you. Don't necessarily pick it because of its popularity status, because the problem in there lies that if it's not engaging to you, you're either going to get bored or overwhelmed. It's just not going to speak to you. And if it doesn't speak to you, it's going to be that much harder to stick with it and stay with it and keep creating. The other thing is know yourself. Know yourself, know your life. If October is a terrible month for drawing challenges, like even though it's the most popular, and you always have way more things on your plate in this month, this isn't the month to do a drawing challenge. It's just not. And that's okay. Save the prompt list for November, or save it for a different time, or maybe, you know, check back in next October. Just really, really pay attention to what your schedule looks like, because what happens with drawing challenges is even if you have everything laid out and you know this is a good month for you and you have the availability, your car could still die, or a pet could pass away, or there could be an emergency somewhere. Like you could lose your job, or you know what I'm saying? Like there are things that we cannot predict in life. And inevitably, the busier we become and the more we promise or commit ourselves to something, like Murphy's Law sort of kicks in, and that happens. So my advice to you would be to be very, very careful and making sure that you have an overabundance of time in October. Like you have more time than you know what to do with, and that will help. The other thing is lists and notes. I know some people start creating beforehand to get a jump on it. They will start in September and then not post these things till October. You do you. It's not my opinion to make opinions on your life and how you do your drawing challenges. That's not for me to say. I've never done that, just because in September I've always been doing a different drawing challenge and doubling up drawing challenges while I've done it before. It's hard. It's really, really hard. So be careful doing that. Being overwhelmed is just as destructive as being underwhelmed. So if you pick a drawing challenge and it is absolutely something you've done before, or it's boring, or it's too easy, or it's just not engaging you, you're just not feeling it, underwhelm can be destructive too. It's really hard to create when you're underwhelmed. We need a nose in here, and I don't know how I'm going to do this. Ooh, sort of go around like this, maybe. I don't know. Notes. I cannot express to you how important note-taking is. Finding the thing that you love to draw. So I really enjoy obviously doing portraits. I really enjoy doing animals. Those are kind of my two favorite things. So I figure out a way to incorporate the things I already enjoy drawing. I'm already comfortable drawing. If you're comfortable drawing something and you've never done a drawing challenge before, pick that subject matter. It'll help with the overwhelm because you'll still feel like comfortable in what you're doing. Even if the drawing every day or creating every day is new to you, or following prompts and stuff is new to you, having subject matter you're familiar with will give you that sense of security and sort of lessen that stress. So like for example, Mermaid is a drawing challenge in the month of May where everybody draws a mermaid every day. I did animals and then added tails to animals, because that's what I'm comfortable with, and I've done mermaid so many times that I'm bored with it. I'm sorry. It just happens sometimes. You get bored with drawing challenges when you've done them too many times. So I was pretty bored, and that was my solution for the year, was how do I do mermaid in a way that engages me and I still am having fun, and it was to do animals with tails. And I'll throw a couple pictures up of some of that if you're interested. So make a list, have ideas for every single prompt if you're following a prompt list. Maybe you just want to do the theme, like maybe you just want to do like Spooky-tober and just have spooky things every day and not follow the prompts, but still follow the hashtag. That is absolutely something that can be done. You can do it any way you want. It's art, so get weird with it. I think I want to come in a little bit more. So I'm going to use the animal thing for example again. So if you're doing animals every day, have a list of more than 31 animals. There's 31 days in October. So have a list of 60 to 90 animals, and then you can still sort of choose and have a choice and have flexibility. Know which things take you longer to create and which things take you less time. And on days where you have plenty of time, do the harder thing. Draw the more time-consuming thing and save those easier drawings, those easier paintings, that easier subject matter for yourself for later in the month. For days where emergencies do pop up, for days where you're tired or you feel burnt out or you're like, why did I do this? And everybody sort of hits a wall at a different time in the month for what they're doing. It's not the same for everybody. Some people hit the wall after a week, sometimes it's 2 weeks, sometimes it's towards the very end and you're like, and I'm done. Okay, my camera cut off. I've been really bad at trying to keep track of my battery time of my camera and drawing, and I apologize for that. I'm house sitting a cat this week and doing too much. I have a lot on my plate. I want to make sure this face doesn't look as wonky as I think it looks. So if you've never done a drawing challenge before and you've never been able to have availability in the month to keep going every single day, and this is your first time, go easy on yourself. Do not pick an art supply you've never used before. Opposite be true. If you've done drawing challenges before and you're bored but you want to keep doing them, but you need more of a challenge, pick stuff you've never done. Pick a drawing challenge you've never done. Pick an art supply you've never used. Make it as challenging for yourself as you can. So think about what challenges you, what works for you. This kind of needs to be smoothed out a little bit. Let's get some watercolor. Hold on. Okay. I am trying to figure out the best way, but it looks really, really streaky. That's one of the things with Tomoe River paper, is because it's double coated. The coating makes it really streaky with stuff. So what I do as a cheat is I put a layer of watercolor on it and embrace it. This is my Schmincke, the Hydrum Aquarelle. This is the silver. It needs to be cleaned up. It's in a bad way. It has purple Tombow on it. Yeah, so Tombows are water soluble, and again, I find ink to be super streaky on this paper, so doing a watercolor layer sort of, I don't know if it evens it out. It makes it look mottled and it just makes it worse, and the worse looks better to me. Welcome to art. We have the rules, now let's break them. Drawing challenges. Yep. So eat right, sleep well, figure out what works for you, figure out what doesn't work for you, figure out what level of challenge you need, what level of challenge you don't need. Be really, really realistic with yourself. And that's kind of one of the hardest things, is to be like, okay, I've never done a drawing challenge before. It's always sounded super fun. I heard it's hard, or whatever people are saying. How do I make this so it is an easy, seamless process for myself? The other thing is you can go small. Like I am currently working in an A6 planner. You don't have to be in a sketchbook. You don't have to be working on paper. You don't have to be working this large. If you want to do 1 inch by 1 inch or 2.54 by 2.54 centimeters, squares, one a day, have a magnifying glass. I've done that challenge before. Yeah, have some sort of magnifying situation, some readers or something, and a fine liner pen. You know, there's Copic multi-liners and microns and all kinds of, you don't have to do, it doesn't have to be a drawing pen. If all you have are Bic pens in your drawer, grab a Bic pen, do 1 inch by 1 inch squares. Do it that way. You can totally create fun little spooky Halloween doodles every day. You could do a timed challenge. That's another option where you set your timer for 5 minutes or 10 minutes and you see how much you can create or what you can get done, or maybe you're just doing loose sketches for composition and theme ideas. They don't have to be finalized pictures. Some of the problems with social media and posting is seeing all the things that people can do every single day. And you have to realize that their life isn't your life. Their life's going to look different. They're going to have different abilities, different time frames, different demands. So some of them can sit at their desk for 8 hours and do an entire like finished piece that can be framed. And obviously those are the things that garnish the most attention and get spread around. But comparison is the thief of joy, and you have to realize what your life looks like and your time frame and what you have going for you. Figure that out and just be really realistic and be like, yeah, they turned out something nice, but they're not me and they don't have they don't have my life or my challenges. So this is what mine's gonna look like. And it can be, you know, doodles and ideas, or maybe your drawing challenge speaks to something else later in the year, like you're prepping and creating for a drawing challenge in November and you're just working on composition and fun things for October, but you want to get involved somehow. All you have to do is create every day. It doesn't have to be wild and crazy. It doesn't have to be, you know, polished work. There's a lot of AI art. Be careful of that because that doesn't compare to traditional art at all, and sometimes people don't label their things correctly, and so it can be a little misleading as to what they created for the day. Just be really kind to yourself. Be really gentle with yourself. Even if you've done drawing challenges and you're like a drawing challenge champion, again, still be kind. Still be patient, still find ways to make it fun and interesting. If the Halloween thing isn't for you, whether that be like culturally or like religion or just you as a person, like, hey, I just don't enjoy Halloween. And a lot of the prompt lists are Halloween themed. You can create your own. You can create your own, you can hashtag it, October Drawing Challenge, October Creator Challenge, or just drawing challenge, whatever, and throw your hat in the ring and create a drawing challenge of something you do want to see, because chances are you're not the only one that feels that way. If you've gone through and you've looked at my stories on my Instagram and seen, you know, 50 different drawing challenges and none of them speak to you or none of them like capture the sort of thematic stuff you want to do for the month, create the one you want to do for the month. There's nothing wrong with that. You are a creator, you are an artist, you are making stuff, you can make a drawing challenge as well. And it doesn't have to be splashy, it doesn't even have to be online, it could be something private to you. You know, you could be recreating childhood memories, it could be super personal or nostalgic, or, you know, it could just be something that you relate to, that speaks to you. Maybe around October, you're craving springtime stuff and the theme's all wrong for you. Create some springtime stuff. You know, if you want to have botanicals for your drawing challenge, absolutely do that. This is my drawing. It looks really weird. I try to think. I've never layered watercolor over this ink before. Does it work? I don't know. I tried it, so we saw how that looked. Those are just some of my ideas. Again, think about yourself and your life and how long it takes you to create or draw or make something, and apply that to the constraints of the drawing challenge. So I hope some of these tips helped. I hope they gave you some ideas. I'll link some more videos in the description box. I'll link all the products I used. I hope you have an absolutely wonderful week, and I will talk to you later. Bye.